Right. 3, 2, 1, go. Yeah, I think it's the same music on 1. I mean, it's not surprising. Both on the Game Boy. Dude, when I got my Dragon Warrior Monsters 1 cartridge, it came with a... I think it was a level 60. No, it was a 99 Dark Dream plus 40. That's what it was. And there was like a level 60 Gold Slime and a 99 Rosevine on there. It was just like, oh my god, somebody loved this game. And then I deleted it. Speedrunning has destroyed all sense of enjoyment of letting nice things exist. Bum, bum, bum. I love the music in this game, though. It's generally true of just all Dragon Quest games. The music is always really good, with a few exceptions. I mean, there are obviously some tracks that just don't hit, but in general, very good. In time for the first run of the day, yep. Yeah, I missed out on this game for a long time. Like, I played a lot of Monsters 1 from high school on, but I missed out on this one until pretty recently, but it's very fun. I'm gonna have to play it casually so I can see more of the content, but the speedrun is enjoyable. It's one of the comfier runs that I do, that's for sure. Well, shenanigans. Always bully mods. That's what they're there for, isn't it? Alright, this time I'm not going to forget to talk to the people on the way back home. Back to Marabou. I keep expecting talking to Mom to trigger, you know, going to bed and discussing what to do. Oh, I haven't even checked. Like, I've got a Roku also. I haven't actually seen what all is on there. We basically just use it for YouTube. Does it make sense that they would have a Twitch app? Nope. Dang it. Oh, it broke and they abandoned it? Wow. Get my pork chop. I have to use the key first. Can't just walk down the stairs and then exit into Oasis. That's not how this works. Worse than the Switch app? I've only heard you complain about it. And yet you still use it. Oh, I didn't change my message speed. Even though, in my notes, there's 4 lines of update text speed. So that I don't miss it. I still missed it. It's the first thing you do after gaining control of your character, basically, in Monsters 1 as well, so you'd think I would just do it. Find some herbs. Other one down toward the bottom of the left screen here. Oh, nice. Null. Coming with me. My next monster gonna be named Void. Ah. Sure. Dabu. Blue. Makes you name monsters? I mean, it'll do it for you if you just leave it empty. One does the same thing. Why am I so high? That's what I want. Alright, first try worm, let's go. You're not a worm. I thought about replacing the spot slime, but it's gonna be a waste of time because I'm gonna replace the ghost again with the worm as soon as I get it, so not really worth it. Okay, nice Kaishin. Join. Aw. Dang it. Yeah, so a reset there just so I get my pork chop and beef jerky back. I can catch the worm now? Excellent. I can throw Anatolu's food at the worms. Surely that will work. Oh god, Capierre's back. A feeling he never left. Probably true. Why isn't there pizza in this game? Pork chop back. Yeah, I should probably better to go for the pork chop round, and then if you don't get it, keep going with the 2 beef jerkies before resetting. I keep forgetting how much longer the reset time is on this. Because in Monsters 1, the reset is really fast. Like, in the amount of time it takes for you to think I should reset the game, you're back in playing it already. It sits on the title cards for a while, and in 2, however. Those are some small hits. Okay. Also, hopefully I get a better worm this time, because my worm on the previous run was doing 1 damage, even during the Captain Dead split. Like, it was the weakest worm you could possibly get. The spookies. I doubt it. Just let the spooky join. It just takes so long, and I'm gonna end up resetting anyway. Alright, if this one joins, I'll take it. See? It doesn't actually want to be here anyway, it's all good. Oh my goodness. What happened to the worms? Rejected it too many times. Worm. Worm. No worm. Pork chop and a beef jerky, no worm. I like that this is really the only, like, significant RNG wall in this game. Like, everything else is really stable. Like, the Dark Eye, like, potentially, but I've only ever recruited female Dark Eyes. Compare that to Monsters 1, where the run is all RNG walls. Every single thing that you do is an RNG wall. Like, that run can end if you just menu wrong at any given time. The worm? The worm. You know what? I just said last time I did this. Go 2 rounds, because I also have the double beef jerky. Can't get it in my head that this reset is so much longer. I'm just running from the ghosts, I don't care. We're not getting significant experience out of these fights anyway. It's not really worthwhile. They're not dangerous enough that we're gonna be at risk of multiple run fails. They're just gonna do tickle damage, really. Two meats here. Oh, shit. Aurora. Alright. Worm get. Now what do I do? Right, just go straight up here and talk to you. Man, it's been so long, I was like, what's my next task? Yeah, that Femdrak RNG wall in particular. Like, the amount of times that I've just been like 20 plus minutes and just still no Femdrak. It's astonishing. Oh, one left. I have no sense of direction when I come out of that cutscene. Couple more yeses. Okay, it's 2 yeses total. That's not the well lady. Nice try. Okay, well this worm is already doing more damage than the previous worm. And it ain't even close. Probably don't need that one. I still have one left over since I used the pork chop. Love that beast cut. Nice. I should know what you get. Stop trying to use beast cut, you moron. I mean, even if I do this, it's usually just gonna disobey and try to use it anyway. We can hope for the best. Less stupid monster than the worm. Yes, please. Maybe if we could just go straight to the armor key. Fantastic. Just in case. No, only for 3 anyway. Alright, I gave you a chance to live. Now you die. Now you get rejected again. He had a chance earlier and he chose not to. Now we go to the prisoner. There. Easy peasy curse line fight. Nothing ever goes wrong. I don't think anything can go wrong on the Curse Land fight. One of the most basic fights in the history of the game. History of games in general. I'm waiting to find out that I have no herbs. And then I die to this fight. Just because I said something. Stop dodging. Okay, well at least my worm's not hitting for 1. So this is forward progress. funner. That's fine. I'd like to crit and get this over with, that'd be great. What was there? Null died. Fine. Is this actually happening? Is this actually happening? Okay, well, fine. What I get for talking? I knew the risks. It was worth it. Oh, that's too funny. Alright, let's find 2 herbs along the way. Hey, there's one. Oh, that's great. Alright, the caveat to my prior statement is double upper sucks. Hey, Gold, how's it going? Welcome back. Wonder if we're gonna get a bonus level. A little bit more damage. Ale Eater. There we go. That was actually a decent level too. All in order? Nice. I played that for the first time sometime last year. That was a lot of fun. Right. Error 03 this time for sure. God, early upper. Come on. Double upper already. Well, this sucks. Somebody crit, please. Yeah, the game just kept getting better for me. I wish that there was... I'm not going to spoil anything for you, obviously. There's a crit. Well, I wish there was more incentive to, like, do side stuff rather than just cosmetics. Because unfortunately, it was hard for me to motivate myself to try a second playthrough or anything. Like, once I was done, I was just like, well, I've kind of already done it. But that first playthrough was very fun. I'll hold off on that herb. Now we're getting crits. One crit last time is all I needed. Fine. Really the only one that one experience on here is Aurora, so null dying is actually good, because I get more experience. Much better. Happen. This time, I'm not going to forget to do my shopping before leaving does it too. Can't believe I did that. Got into the squiz fight and then realized I had no herbs. Kind of undoable without herbs. So how far did you get into Fallen Order? Two or 3 hours in? Nice. I was a little hesitant going into that game. I was like, I don't know, I'll play it, see what happens. And then I was very pleasantly surprised by it. Put the worm in the bag. Oh. I can understand that hesitance, yeah. No, they did a good job with that game. Alright, so I don't really feel like I missed out on anything by skipping the sellable items to the left there, so I'm just gonna take them out of my notes altogether. Skip them every time. Wait. See? I forgot the shop again. I was like, wait a second. Is this where the shop was? Yes, this is where the shop was. One open spot. One open spot just in case we get that friend staff. Disappointed in a few ways. Yeah, there were definitely things they could have done better, but the gameplay was entertaining, the story was interesting enough. Music was pretty good. Visuals were very good. Most of it's just like, I wish there was some form of replay value to it. That's really my only complaint. But like the bosses and stuff in Fallen Order were a lot of fun to fight. Yeah. I don't think any of the fights were really awful. Yeah, if the gameplay itself is enough for you, then, you know, I could definitely see the ability to play multiple times. To me, it's just on subsequent playthroughs, I like to be able to, like, go to things that, whoops, that I, like, skipped on the first playthrough, but it's like, there's not really anything to do. Like, you know, there's no bonus content. And with my existing backlog of games, it's just like, well, if I'm not gonna do anything new, then I'm gonna move on. Oh, shit. Missed my split. Okay. Next run we'll get a desert split. I mean, it wouldn't be one of my runs if I hit all of my splits. I only have 5. And one of them's the end. And still I'm gonna miss it. Does B-slash even really matter here? I don't know. Regular attack for 7. And you're not going to be slash for me to compare. Thanks. Oi. Bum bum. And off to Pirate we go. Okay, this time I have herbs. Go straight on to Squiz. Man, I need to replay Final Fantasy 13. Or just work on my speedrun practice. Either one would work. Alright, 350 HP, here we go. Okay. The worm is hitting 4 times as hard as it was last time. It's a good start. Or hitting for 0. Nice. Crit helps a lot. Alright, can you boost the defense of the other two? Pretty great. Already has quad hits. Compared to last run, yeah. My worm was hitting for 1. Last run, it was terrible. Both on this fight and on Captain Dead. Boost Bino's defense, please. Be fantastic. Go. That should be good. Another crit. Yeah. Well, thanks for capping out your defense while Bino's dying. Erk. I want you to die at the end of the game. Don't want Bino to die. There we go. Are we at that stage of the fight here where you're gonna spam buy attack on Mappin and never hit him? You sure are. This is eventually what happened last time, too. I wonder if it's something with the AI. Ah, okay, maybe not. There's just no saving the worm. Is this 80%? Kinda? Yeah. Got lucky there, because I mashed through and didn't heal Bino. Kill Mappin. Yeah, keep doing that. Dang it, Mappin's alive. Alright. Oh, hey look, a staff. I wonder if it's a friend's staff. Alright, well, there's the gopher. Wow, 95%. Hey, friend staff! Alright. Probably should have grabbed that meat, but whatever. Oh, no. Yeah, you certainly can't. Sometimes you just lose a 95%. Oh well. See, I think I had an extra pork or beef jerky. So I don't think I need to buy another one. I still have to. Yeah. Exit though. Above waters. 5. Or deep. Long game. Oh. Surely you jest. Surely you mash. I calculated that gold. All intention. Just in case things go sideways somehow. Of course you ignored orders. I wonder if I used the beef jerky on my party instead. Definitely a possibility. I would believe that that happened over not recruiting a gopher. That's how unlikely that is. Army it? Yeah. Recruits out of the way. Alright, and Captain Dread should go much faster this time. Because A, my worm is not hitting for 1 damage, and B, I have a friend staff. Huzzah! That's a free time save. Take this fight, right? A bonus experience. Man, he loves that worm. Oh. Get more damage than I anticipated. Even then, it's not really safe to run from that anyway, so... Hard to say that was the wrong decision. Get to get the potion this time. Oh. Just had him attack then. Thank you. Very much needed that crit. Something, something, heart of the cards. Why didn't just go to the back page? Alright, next step, Bino. didn't see if the staff broke or not. Check on that when I go for my herbs. Oh, we're still good. I'm not gonna use another one here though. I'm gonna save that for the next boss. Just kill A, please. Like, it's tempting to use the friend staff on Squiz since it didn't break, but at the same time, it's just like, if it breaks here, it's whatever, not as useful. I'd rather have 2 fights with 1 character boost. Oh, alright. Not quite. Am I winning? Hope so. Using a lot of love waters on my worm, but I prefer not to. This boss isn't dead yet. Yes, I am winning, Dad. Now for the dark eye, yep. Well, so, first, we raise the sea level, then the dark eye. Magic. Moon. Moon rock. That's why Callie loves this game. Are you saying that Final Fantasy IV is his favorite? Actually go to the moon. Turns out the moon is just a giant slime. Probably are monsters up there. Probably so many that it's gonna like overflow and launch them all at the earth or something. Or whatever was going on in that story. That's what I gleaned from it. Why not? Alright, it's close enough. Bookmark here. Hey, look. This is the formation I keep getting my females from, so... Happy to see this. Worm. Oh, you missed the crit. Dragon War Monsters 3 announced? No. At least not that I'm aware of. Nith. Well, that's nice. Relic. There's a tempting bell up there, but I'm not gonna go. Bum, 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 bum. Didn't have enough HP. Yeah, screw it. It didn't end up mattering last time. I mean, yes, I could have just used the love water and then gone to the shop, but nah. Oh, no, there's no monsters there. They don't love us enough to do that. No. I mean, yeah, there's the Joker games. There's the nose. We've reached the time of day where my nose just itches like crazy. It helps if I hit the right button here. Please repeat no. I need to fix that menuing block. Where's the aim? Too much. No. No need to lurk. Drunk North Rex is fun, Rex. Do this while I'm thinking about it. Money. I go to breeding. Yeah. Why am I going to the vault? This is not the beginning of the game. Into the arena. I don't really have anything to just like casually drink right now. I think all I've got left is scotch. Been trying to save money for a while, so purchasing alcohol has not been a priority. Mountain Dew. I can't stand Mountain Dew. Something about the flavor just does not work for me. Off to ice we go. The music in this area is so good. I mean, it's true of all of the zones, but especially this one. I'm so used to looting everything from Monsters 1 still. Some items I need to get over that connection to. Pork chops. Hey SK, how's it going? You don't have vodka, but I just use that for pasta sauces usually. here the whole time? Oh my goodness. It's a long time. There's an encounter. Oh, okay, this is actually a really good encounter too. Nice safe first encounter. I like ginger beer. I just love ginger in general. Like, what I'll typically do is just have a whole bunch of ginger root on hand, and then I'll just slice them up and boil it to make tea. Fresh ginger tea is unmatched. There's like no form of like powdered or dehydrated ginger teas that has any form of like, it's not strong enough for me. Like all the typical ginger flavored stuff is designed for people that don't really like ginger all that much. It's really hard to find one that's strong enough where I really enjoy it. That's a laurel. Expecting herb. Got me again. Back to back oral. I want to use the friend staff. Oopie. I would like to get the bear like around level 10 at least. Well, I guess it's not too big of a deal since I have the friend staff. Go with whatever we get. I'll force one more encounter. Good one. Ah, broke. Okay, I got 2 boss fights out of that friend staff. Good deal. Now if you can kill Squiz. Oh. Better PvP with this. Odds are good. Squiz is still alive, we're gonna want him to die soonish. Should die on the Silver Devil though, that should not be an issue. I like how your monsters just dutifully follow you down into the pit there. Oh, guess we'll jump in behind you. Like, at least in Dragon Warrior 4, they have the, like, in the, Cave of Betrayal, they have the two tiles fall out underneath, the sisters. Kill Squiz. That's not Squiz. That's a crit, though. That's 2 crits, okay. That's a lot of damage fast. Now kill Squiz. No more of these guys. Oh yeah. You probably got your fill of these guys earlier. There goes Squiz. Excellent. They have twin hits? At least they had to pop up at 15. You're wrong. No, I did not want to talk to you. I was checking HP lines there. Yeah, I brought the extra stuff. Head to Weston. Ooh, never say no to nuts. Stick nut. Well. I'm gonna give Future Bear a little bit more MP. You look familiar. Oh no. I had a tickle in my throat. Come on. I do admire your restraint in that moment, though. I could see it on your face. You were just like, I want to say it. And you're like, And that's one of my favorite things about you, Heck. Encounter. Fight it out. chance for me to check and it not have twin hits. Maybe you'll get it here. Level 17 twin hits. Whew. Glad I noticed that. Oops, yes, I do want to fight you. I'm in the wrong button there. Nice. Kill my squiz, please. I have to just stop reviving Squiz. Kill my Squiz. Nice. That'll help for Goat Horn experience at least. Bonus here from what we missed on the puppeter. No, actually. Potion. Hold on to that for later. I went one over to the right. Rogue Knight. Easy peasy. Not too far. Alright, I got this. Still got it. That's nice. Last time there were 3 encounters here. One is a nice improvement. Actually learning to speedrun after a race. Right. Now, this is a fun run. It's fairly simple, really straightforward. But just really comfy. Stock some love water. Take that in. Ruins all future races. I mean, we're never gonna have another blind race of this game, so. I think that just means our next blind race can be a different game. Yeah, future races will be actual races. On page 3. I keep saying no. I need to mash A here. Turn order? No, not guard. Well, whatever. Guarding is fine. You know what? Actually, just keep guarding. I was gonna stop spell, but at this point I'm gonna need to heal after the fight anyway. That actually works out pretty well. Actually, no, I don't. I'm gonna use the in anyway, so it works out. Stop spell's not really necessary. Alright, Northrex, what's the next bad race? You're the master of coming up with these. Stop spell first. Any non-linear and or still. Not really in a good spot to win hits yet. A bit rough. This is a good argument for twin hits first. Let's try this. We got the world lead. Worst case scenario. This is fine. Okay. It started out a little bit scary, but yeah. I don't know if I was trying to talk you into DQ6. I mean, that would mean I would have to do it too. Yeah, I was told I was going to do today. Alright, ice out. More time saved. Yeah, anywhere from 8 hours to 20 hours. Yeah, that last boss is why I'm like... I expect my first run of 6 when I get around to it will probably be like 10 to 12 hours, at least. Just because of that last boss terrifies me. Do it live? Alright, 20 hours. No practice whatsoever, just going off of some notes blindly. 20 hours. That's my yes. Let's kill an extra 10 millions. It's true. I mean, a blind race of 6 would ultimately come down to just overpowering stuff more. Massively over-level for it and then just YOLO it. Yeah. Get the war ring. Also, a blind race of 6 I would definitely have an advantage on, because I've at least practiced up through mid 03. Pretty easily win a blind race of 6. Well, that's the only way to really win, is to not race it. You win by abstaining. Off to Sky we go. I think the viewers win that race. Because Twitch chat loves when streamers suffer. Are you watching 6? I bet they wouldn't have to watch it non-stop. They could take breaks. I'm gonna be streaming instead. Dark Souls. What you got now? thing has way too much defense. So now we're past the first fight. Squiz can die. Really just need him to escort the level 1s. Whew, all the skills. Spolt. Blech. Good opportunity to kill Squiz. Or you guys can just focus down my bear. That works too, I guess. I mean, the more you know about DQ6, the less likely you are to race it. This just comes with the territory. The more you play it, the more you know you don't want to play it. Big trip. Yes, yes, alright, Squiz is dead, finally. It's just like 4. 4 is at least fun, and half the time. Chapter 2 is fun also. Like Chapter 2, aside from obviously the RNG wall of if your arena is good enough and then having to go through the tournament, like up until that point, Chapter 2 is a lot of fun. Chapter 1's a good warm-up. Chapter 3 is like mind-numbing, unfortunately. Chapter 4 is quick enough that it doesn't really matter. I'd raise Anatolo at Dragon Warrior 4. Absolutely. I'll have you know, I have a top 5 time on SRC for Dragon Warrior 4. Did I say no? God dang it. Did I already get it? Was I spaced out and I got the change staff? Oh my goodness. That's good. I did not even see the change staff icon pop up. I was so sure I hadn't picked it up yet. Oh, I've got Evil Slash. So as soon as I buy the repellents, I can use them. Struck by cuckoo. Don't grab the meat, we don't need. It's interesting that the high priority attacks actually outspeed item usage. I didn't notice that until first run today. DQ3? No. DQ5 is the real race. The fact that we were neck and neck for, what was it, 4.5 hours? Was insane. That was a fun race. Why am I going up? I don't go up. Okay, good. Oh, I don't want a fairy rat. Any real DQ race game? I mean, if you really want to get down to it, probably one. Exits. Oh. That seems good. Yeah, if there were more stability, you know, through the first 30 minutes of DQ3, it would be like the perfect race game. But sometimes, you know, the race is over by the time, you know, both people have the magic key. Oh, it's right there. Well, it doesn't necessarily end the race, but depending on how bad your... Oh, hey, nice. Depending on how bad your pyramid is, it can straight up just, like, put you so far behind that it's really hard to recover. So tempting to go for that nut, but I'm not gonna do it. This monster doesn't work. Today I learned. This one works. I just assumed that any monster worked. Well, that's gonna throw off my repellent a bit. A little bit unfortunate. Actually, it might not matter too much, because I think it usually wears off in Mudo's castle past where the encounters end, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, I'd say more races in DQ3 are decided by Metal Slime Grind than the Pyramid. But the loss of momentum from a Pyramid wipe is very difficult to overcome, in my opinion. Boom! First try again. Look at that. First try, both runs. Go away. Boss easier than the lamp. Yeah. We don't talk about the lamp. Nothing could ever go wrong on the lamp. Alright, we're back. Tetris Championship? I don't think I've ever watched competitive Tetris. It'd probably just make me feel bad about myself. Or good about myself, I don't know. Oh, that one could go either way. Now I can imagine. Like NES Tetris, specifically? What about Game Boy Tetris? Mario Land, Tetris, World Cup Soccer, and something else. I had another game. That's pretty much all I had. Mario Baseball. Those were the games that I had. Kirby's Dream Land is fun. Kirby's Dream Land 2 was actually really cool. I need to replay that. Like, they added a whole bunch of cool stuff. The mounts were kind of interesting. Just like having each animal interact with different power-ups in different ways. It was kind of a cool concept. An easy way to multiply your interactions. Hear this in my sleep. Fly west. Yeah, that is a stronger opinion than I have ever had about NES Tetris. We're off around here. Oh. Our phone's lasting a lot longer than I anticipated. My steps must have been like way off last time from... Oh, that's right, because I had to... I had to do a lot of extra overworld stuff because I didn't have the warp staff. No, that would be after this. I don't know. I did something last time that threw that off a bit. Whoops. Are you suggesting there's a difference between casual and top-tier pro? Fine. Hits on E-charge. Nice, prayer unanswered. Excellent. That's what we like to see. Not getting obliterated right here. Should just die now. There you go. Easy peasy. Stuff. Still got dues. I don't know how much I need this in, but yeah. No real reason not to. Unless repellent ticks inside town. I don't think it does. That would be a great reason not to do it, though. I think the repellent only needs to last until you get to the second staircase after the kitchen. I think after that encounters go away. I think I played Tetris 99 like twice. I tend to move away from overly competitive stuff, even if it's like casual competitive, like Tetris 99 or the Mario, what was it, Mario 35 or whatever. It's just like, if I let myself become competitive, I will like lose myself in it. Oh, this has been really poorly managed. Wow, you actually outspeed my bear the time that I don't quad hits. Oh, no, I didn't. Oh, maybe you'll do it for me. Or D-Magic. Nice. You got a fast Armapede today. Orthrex is happy today. Magic me every other turn, huh? Oh, now you outspeed him. Third run? No. No, just 2 for today. Sacrifice, don't need that going off. Lazy. How many have you done today, Northrex? Well, we could have a Hack and Cowie race then. How did I lose time there? I'm confused. On the previous one, I had to fly back to the castle because I didn't have the warp staff. What? Oh, I had to walk back for... Well, that wouldn't have been that much time, though. Huh, that's weird. Midnight Dragon Warrior Monsters 2. Not today. My body is telling me it's time to be done for today. My body has more say over what I do than your body does. I had a small snack in between. I need to actually go find real food, though. Charge wasn't what I meant to do. Okay. It'll be fine. Nice. We actually got a lure dance off. Nice squiz. Oh wait, you have exploded now. That Thoradane would have been nice to have for that. Well. Oh, I think I know it. I think that time loss was the mirror fight at the very beginning of Sky. It took forever to kill it because everybody was hitting it for one. The interface is borked. That's never good. And you outspeed the Armageddon. Okay, no confusion. How do I do that? Oh. We got Skybells. And Giga Slash missed. That's good news. And then the outspeed. Beautiful. Uh-oh. Stop confusing my party. I did it again. I went to charge. I keep thinking he's on charge already, so when I go to move over to quad hits, I think I have to hit cursor over there. That was messy. Another improvement. I'll take it. That was a pretty good one. That fight, though. 2 confuses, a few miss menus. Yeah. That fight can go a lot better. Yeah, thanks again for the GGs. It's really nice being able to do multiple runs in one day. It's like, so many of the games that I run, it's like I get to run them once a week. And it's like really, really hard to really improve when you're doing it once a week. Being able to do back-to-back runs and immediately reinforce things that you've learned on the previous run, really nice. I like it. So, definitely gonna be doing more runs of this. Thanks again for the GGs, everybody. That's a pretty decent time. I don't know exactly how long the credits are on here, but I mean, looking at probably 2. I don't know. I'm guessing 2 something. I don't remember what my previous time. 224 minus probably 13. I probably lost a minute to that fight, so maybe looking at 211. Bad. No time for one more? I do have time for one more. I'm just very, very hungry. That needs to be addressed. I don't know why I keep mashing here instead of going to turbo. Like, I've been trying hard not to turbo this game so that I don't accidentally make menu selections and such. But then I get here and I'm just like, keep rolling the D-pad. Can't run any game without making large spreadsheets. I have one spreadsheet, and it's for servant attack power on Monsters 1. My only spreadsheet. Actually, that's not true. I started a spreadsheet that I was going to track all of my run times and like significant notes from what happened in those runs, and then I just never put anything in there. Hey, Star Sash. Welcome to the end of the run. Just in time for the best part, the wonderful music on the ending credits. This track is fantastic. Not this one. I mean, this one's sketchy. That's not what I was referring to. This one's fantastic. Alright, so yeah, the very beginning of this one, it definitely started out better than the previous run. I didn't forget the shop. That was a big one. I died to the lamp. Right after saying, there's no way to die to the lamp. And then it double uppered really early, and I only had 1 herb, so I couldn't outlast that one. So, had to redo that one. Yep, you missed the entire game, unfortunately. But there will be more runs of this game. This was a lot of fun. Let's see, and then we got the ocean. Squiz went a lot better than the previous run because my worm was dealing damage. And then I got the friend staff right after Squiz, and it didn't break when I used it on Captain Dead, and so I was also able to use that on the rock. So that was nice. Just a couple of free buy kills in there. Ice really went pretty smoothly. Sky went pretty smoothly. Overall, yeah, that was a fine run. Like, really, the only issues there were the curse lamp and a lot of menuing problems because I keep forgetting when characters aren't already on charge, and so I go to put them on like a specific command, and then I bump it to charge on accident instead. Oh well. But yeah, definitely a solid improvement from the previous run. I changed my notes to buy 5 warp stabs instead of 4 in, what is it, Estria? No, that's the Sky Bells. Where do we get the stuff? Okay, so at the beginning of Ice, I was originally buying 4 warp stabs, but I changed it to buy 5, and that, I don't know if I'm like missing one that I was supposed to pick up elsewhere, but getting a 5th one there gave me the one that I needed for the puzzle castle. Medley by far. There you go. I got one. He hides back there. I don't know. As much as he pisses me off sometimes, I think I still have to go with Slime Knight. Even though Pierre is a bit of a dick when it comes to recruiting. Yeah, my first time through Monsters 1, I ended up with a gold slime. So, that had a lot of slime breeding in it. Yeah, I've been wanting to get a real one, like an actual metal one, but I keep forgetting, I guess. That thing I've had for so long, like it used to actually have like a shiny exterior on it, and then, you know, kids slept with it and stuff. It all rubbed off. Oh, and a metal babble, I need to get one of those too. Cancelled on you? Oh my god. Yeah. Slimes really do bring joy. We've all got... Everybody... Like, that blue one right there, it's like this big. And... I ended up buying 4 of them. Because I knew if I got one, my wife was gonna want one. If I got one for both of us, then my daughter was gonna want one. And if everybody but my son had one, he was gonna want one. So I was just like, screw it. Bought 4. It's Bomus. What is with you and the Bomus joke lately? Yeah, there we go. There's the stair. So I'm glad I got to do a couple runs of this today. Still a little bit bummed I didn't get around to DQ3 yesterday. But I might do a DQ3 run sometime in the near future still. I definitely want to do more of these though. Just look at a metal jack? Oh my goodness. Metal jacks just make me think of pure terror in DQ5. Because if you run into metal jacks in 5 and then you don't run on the first try, you're losing to somebody. It's a terrible experience. Yeah, I've never done a full playthrough of this casually. I'll probably do that at some point. Off stream, obviously. Very fun speedrun still. How did I lose time here? What's going on? Is it pie time? It's pie time. There we go. 2:11:10. Not bad. I'll take it.